right, great people of Lagos. Of course, it's another time, another moment for us to, ignite conversations, focusing on, channeling our intentions towards becoming environmentally conscious by incorporating eco-friendly practices into our daily lives. Lagos Cleaning Edge is the platform that provides a suitable avenue towards achieving a cleaner, healthier, and sustainable environment for us all. This program is your gateway to a positive lifestyle, which can only be achieved through enlightenment and advocacy on proper waste management and disposal. Clean Edge is a 45-minute program brought to you by Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM in collaboration with Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA. Welcome to another installment. My name is Mike James. And today we shall be focusing on maintaining the culture of sustainable waste management practices, taking it from the LOMA perspective. Now, as we all know, sustainable waste management practices are those activities involved in upholding already set out blueprints by LOMA for waste management in Lagos State. Now, this practice includes any of those activities involved in the sorting, collection, transportation, and disposal of various types of waste in a manner that does not jeopardize the environment, human health, or future generation. Now, the goal of sustainable waste management is reusing, reducing, and recycling materials as much as possible, which we always preach on this program. Now, sustainability ensures that we reduce the amount of waste produced, we reuse materials more than once, and we end up recycling by creating new materials or products out of what you have trashed or out of your garbage. Bag and containerize whatever cannot be reduced, reused, and recycled. For LOMA and accredited waste management, or rather waste managers, which are your PSP operators, to evacuate. When you adopt this practice as a lifestyle, it makes waste management sustainable in Lagos State. Of course, we all know that effective waste management is very crucial, especially in creating a cleaner and healthier environment. Now, when we manage waste properly, we minimize pollution, we reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and we protect our precious natural resources. Of course, we know Lagos, like so many other bustling cities, faces some significant waste management challenges owing to rapid urbanization, population growth, and inadequate infrastructure. All these pose a serious, the stand as obstacles. Insufficient waste collection system is also an obstacle. It stands as a barrier. Improper disposal practices, yes, also stands as a barrier. And that has to do with you and I as tenement in Lagos State. Limited public awareness could also compound the issue further. So that's why we're having this program, Cleaning Edge, just like many other, waste management programs, advocacy programs out there, which LOMA has put out there, so that we can learn, so that we can be enlightened on, how to effectively or properly manage our waste. So today we shall be looking at how we can maintain the culture of sustainable waste management practices. It's all about, constant enlightenment and advocacy. The whole of Lagos cannot be listening to me right now, but I can tell you that we have additional listeners compared to what we had on the show last week, Saturday. So what about those who will listen next week? They also need to learn about these practices. So that's why we're always hammering on this, practices, this proper waste management practices on every of our show. Okay, so we're going on a break. We'll take a message from our partners LOMA, and when we return we shall begin a discussion.
Stop it! it. Yes, you don't do it. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels is prohibited in Lagos State. It has to stop. Henceforth, it's zero tolerance for building or erecting structures on drainages, setbacks, and alignments in Lagos State. Government is doing its best to make our environment clean and safe. As responsible citizens, we too should play our part to sustain it. Dumping of refuse into drainages, canals, or gutters destroys our roads and drainage systems, causes flooding in some areas, and poses great dangers to lives and damage to our public structures. Desist from disposing refuse into drainage channels and canals. It's damaging to the image of Lagos State. Remember, there are laws and regulations guiding the disposal of waste in Lagos State. Offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Do the right thing. Use refuse bins, not canals, gutters, or drains. Dispose waste responsibly. Protect our drainage system. Contribute to a safer environment for us all. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe Office of Drainage Services, announcer.
If you ask me what a team of heroes look like, I'd say people committed to creating a clean and beautiful state. After all, what's there to love about living in a dirty and harmful environment? That's why at Loma, we built an exceptional team with people like the fearless Binga who picks up waste from your house and streets, the Swift Musa who navigates all waste to the landfills, Dupe, the super cleaner who saves our roads from litters, and of course, our magical recycler, Atinuke, who converts waste to wealth. Everyone at Loma is committed to keeping Lagos clean in every way for a safer and healthier Lagos. Loma, the League of Heroes. Keep Lagos clean.
Lagos, you're welcome back to Clean Edge here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. So we're talking about how we can maintain the culture of sustainable waste management practices, taken from the blueprint of the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA. Very quickly, let's talk about what's happening out there. Okay, so we have this traffic report covering the Mile 2 corridor, and it talks about movement from Ijesha connecting Mile 2. Ahead's looking very good. And as you descend the bridge towards Car Wash, Signal Barracks, it's a moving traffic, however. But the return journey from Surah Alaba to Mile 2 is fine. Now, looking at vehicular movement, traffic flow from Mile 2, connecting the Lagos-Badagry Expressway, I can tell you that traffic flow is seamless through Agboju, Alakija, down to Abileado, and the return journey is looking very good. Between Trade Fair and Alakija, now from Alakija, connecting Maza is also fine, but look out for some slight slowing down from Maza through Ecomog to link Car Wash. That's on the service lane, but it's very free on a main carriageway. Now, movement around the full cardinal point of Apple Junction isn't bad either, with no impediment recorded so far within the entire corridor. All right, so it's very important that I talk about this one, the Idumota corridor. So coming in from the foot of Ido Bridge towards Kata Bridge, I hear it's looking very good, and descending towards the Butero as well. Now, if you're coming from Kata Bridge, connecting Enyeyo, moving through Eriko down to Martins, I hear traffic is moving well. Tinubu Square into Tom Jones looks good. Traffic from Tom Jones connecting Idumagbo isn't bad either. and the return journey still looks very good in its entirety. So that gives us some more time to have some great conversations on Clean Edge this beautiful Saturday morning. So like I said, we shall be talking about maintaining the sustainable waste management practices. That is a very, very important topic that affects every single resident in Lagos State. Now, we understand that Lagos generates an estimated 14,000 metric tons of waste every day. And as it is, only about 40% of that waste is collected and disposed of properly. Now, the rest of this waste is either dumped in unapproved locations or littered on the streets, which is something that you and I, that we do. We need to tell ourselves the truth. And doing these things could cause blockages, particularly in the drainage channels, and could lead to other environmental problems. So that's why we always come out to, enlighten you on the proper way to go. We also cannot overemphasize the importance of proper waste management. Even if we start it, can we sustain it? We need to make it a culture, a way of life, proper waste management. We hammer on it on this show every time. Not only for the environment, but also for our health and our well-being. And let me tell you, poor waste management can lead to the spread of diseases, air and water pollution, as well as, clogged drains and canals, which often result in flooding during the rainy season. And that's something that we see. That's something we are aware of. So the question is, what are those practices we must imbibe as a culture in order to make Lagos a cleaner city? Now, firstly, we have to take responsibility for our waste. We should start by separating our waste from the source. This means separating our waste into recyclables and non-recyclable waste. The recyclable waste includes materials such as plastics, aluminium cans, and paper, while the non-recyclable waste include food scraps, used tissues, and other non-recyclable materials. Now, separating this waste will make it easier for the waste collectors, the assigned waste collectors, which are the PSP operators, to sort and recycle, which will help to reduce the amount of waste that ends up in the landfill. So it's our responsibility. It starts from us, because we are the ones that generate this waste. Waste reduction is another waste management practice which we must learn to imbibe as a culture. We should learn to reduce the amount of waste we generate. Of course, we cannot do without generating waste. But we can reduce the amount of waste we generate by, practicing the 3 R's, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. We can reduce the amount of waste we generate by using reusable shopping bags, water bottles, and, food containers. We can also reuse old clothes and furniture by donating them to charity or repurposing them. Thirdly, we should ensure that our waste is disposed of properly. This is the most important part. Of course, we cannot do without generating waste. Even when we reuse, we still have some waste. Even when we sort from the source, of course, we're still going to have waste. But how do you dispose this waste in order for it not to get into the drainage channels, in order for it not to, litter the environment and lead to something else? Of course, it has a way of getting back at us, our health. So let's talk about it. We should always ensure that our waste is disposed of properly. We should not litter our streets, drains, or canals. Instead, we should use the waste bins, which Loma has, provided, which you can get from Loma. We have the 240-litre bins, which you can get from Loma. The smart bins, or perhaps you can get yourself a 240-litre bin with, it must have the rollers, and must have a lid for cover. So that's the approved specification Loma has given us. Peradventure, you cannot, afford the smart bins. So you should use the approved waste bins provided by Loma. We should also encourage our neighbors and friends to do the same. So it begins with us, but hey, we also have to spread the good news. So proper waste management is very crucial. It is very important, very crucial for public health and environmental sustainability. Now, let me tell you that improper disposal of waste can cause a range of health problems. It can lead to respiratory diseases, skin infections, water contaminations, and also contributes to the emission of greenhouse gases, leading to global warming and climate change. That's on an advanced level here, on a long-term scale. But when you practice proper waste management, it can help to reduce the risk of health problems. It prevents environmental pollution and also promotes a sustainable environment. So like I always say, Lagos, despite all these enlightenment, we understand that we still have certain challenges of waste management, which Lagos faces, which Loma is equally facing. But then to do all that they can to meet up to expectations, we also have a role to play. We have the PSP operators, which are the assigned waste collectors, the approved waste collectors. Now, how often do you pay your PSP bills? That's one big challenge. A lot of people will come out and say, hey, the bills are too expensive and all. Yeah, but waste management is not cheap. That's what keeps them in the business. So if you pay your bills promptly, as at when due, and as often as you should, of course you have them in the business and won't be having issues of waste littering and all that. So, a quick summary. Reduce, reuse, and recycle, which are the 3 R's of waste management. Like I said, this will help to minimize the amount of waste that goes to the landfills. Like I said, you can, reduce waste by using reusable materials such as bags and containers, PET bottles. Proper waste collection is very essential to ensure that waste is disposed in a hygienic and safe manner. Of course, Lagos State government has invested in, waste collection services. We also have the PSPs, private sector partnerships, which are the approved waste collectors. That is why, Loma has come out to say, hey, we do not need these cat pushers. They are of no positive value to us. Patronize the PSP operators. That's why they're there. They take the waste to the, landfills and the approved waste disposal sites. But the cat pushers will end up dumping this waste into the canals and drainage systems. You do not know where this waste will end up. All you're concerned about is the fact that, okay, that's been cool. We won't lie. As long as it has left your vicinity, you're fine with that. But that's not the proper way to go. So that's why Loma is saying, hey, the PSP operators are the only ones assigned to come and evacuate your waste within your domain. And if you're caught patronizing a cat pusher, you'll be apprehended as well. You and that cat pusher are liable, are culpable. So please let's imbibe the culture of proper waste disposal. We'll get more into that, but let's quickly go on a break. Let's take a word from our partners, and when we come back, we'll talk more. Stay here.
If you asked me what a team of heroes look like, I'd say people committed to creating a clean and beautiful state. After all, what's there to love about living in a dirty and harmful environment? That's why at Loma, we built an exceptional team with people like the fearless Binga who picks up waste from your house and streets, the swift Musa who navigates all waste to the landfills, Yadupe, the super cleaner who saves our roads from litters. And of course, our magical recycler, Atinuke, who converts waste to wealth. Everyone at Loma is committed to keeping Lagos clean in every way for a safer and healthier Lagos. Loma, a league of heroes. Keep Lagos clean.
Stop it! Yes, you don't do it. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels is prohibited in Lagos State. It has to stop. Henceforth, it's zero tolerance for building or erecting structures on drainages, setbacks, and alignments in Lagos State. Government is doing its best to make our environment clean and safe. As responsible citizens, we too should play our part to sustain it. Dumping of refuse into drainages, canals, or gutters destroys our roads and drainage systems, causes flooding in some areas, and poses great dangers to lives and damage to our public structures. Desist from disposing refuse into drainage channels and canals. It's damaging to the image of Lagos State. Remember, there are laws and regulations guiding the disposal of waste in Lagos State. Offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Do the right thing. Use refuse bins, not canals, gutters, or drains. Dispose waste responsibly. Protect our drainage system. Contribute to a safer environment for us all. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni o. Office of Drainage Services. Announcer.
Lagos. Welcome back to Clean and Edge here on Africa's first authentic traffic radio. This is Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Of course, we're looking at how we can maintain the culture of sustainable waste management practices, the Loma Blueprint. Traffic update. Let's talk about what's going on out there. And this time we're connecting with the Ikorodu axis, Ogolonto to be precise. Traffic, I can tell you, within the length and breadth of the area is generally calm. According to the traffic managers there, movement from Arena into our Greek intersection down to Antikeni looks good. Connecting Ogolonto from there looks good as well. Slight delay by the intersection point, particularly further down towards Majidu, Asolo into Itolo isn't bad. However, from Ogolonto, the journey through Obasekumade Road to link Ebute Police Post down to Igbogbo looks very good. Inward and outward, with no impediment cited so far. So that's for the Ogolonto part of town. And we also have news for you on the Idumota corridor. Yes, so for the Idumota traffic report, taking it from the foot of Ido Bridge into Kata Bridge looks good, and connecting Ebute from there is fine. Coming in from Kata Bridge into Enyeyo isn't bad. Eriko down to Martins is moving as expected. Tinubu Square. Connecting Tom Jones isn't bad. And moving further down beyond Tom Jones into Police Post is very much in good shape. And then from the big screen, well, I can equally tell you that these are areas we have. We have the Arlen corridor coming from underneath the Ikeja Bridge towards Arlen. Connecting radio, I can tell you movement is seamless. Traffic movement is seamless. No cause for alarm. Free flow of traffic is what we're seeing live and direct via the big screen. Coming from underneath the Ikeja Bridge through Arlen radio down to Coca-Cola and moving further down into ShopRite. All right, and also the Bagada corridor connecting Yanwuru isn't bad. It's a breeze. Traffic flow seems to be very, very free. The Yanwuru corridor going through the diversion point is equally very free at this moment in time. Accessing the third mainland bridge, heading towards the island. No cause for alarm. Movement is still very much in all that. So that's what we're seeing here live on the big screen. Can't see the live camera update infrastructure. So back to the conversation in Lagos. Let's talk about the goals of sustainable waste management practices. Now, the essence is to find a lasting solution to waste management in Lagos by adopting the 3 R's, which I'll reiterate: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So it begins with us. We must put all these into practice, making use of reusable materials, reusing, plastic and paper bags, and of course, recycling. Yes, we should learn to embrace the habit of sorting out recyclables before disposing, and disposing them properly, bag the waste, and dump them into the approved bins, and contact your operators, and avoid single use of food and drink containers. Instead, buying products that can be reused or products that come in containers that can be refilled. Okay, so these goals can be achieved by intensifying already existing sensitization exercises, which Loma has been doing, in order to educate the public on the proper way of disposing waste and patronizing only assigned PSP operators. We have programs like Cleaning Edge. We have Ojúṣe Loma, which is another program on the station, and even on TV. Yes, as well as on the dailies, publications on the dailies, on how to, dispose your waste properly. We have them. It's all about educating you, sensitizing you on proper ways of disposing your waste. And let's not forget the Loma Academy program, where younger generations are educated on waste management practices that are environmentally friendly. So Loma has invested so much in educating the public, in sensitizing the public. Let's not forget the stakeholders meeting, bringing community leaders together, and residents as well. Talking about the way forward. It's all about keeping our environment clean and how we can sustain waste management practices. So that's it. So you and I also have a role to play. We must cultivate the habit of separating, recycling our recyclables from the non-recyclables, and most importantly, pay your waste bills on time. Like I said earlier on this program, it is very important. That's what keeps them in the business. So if you complain that they do not come, the first question they would ask you is, do you pay your waste bills on time? Do you pay it frequently? As at when do you? So think about that, Lagos. And also, this is from waste migration and patronizing the cat pushers. It is an offense, so don't be surprised if you're caught and apprehended or punished for that. Avoid littering the streets and drainage, as well as waterways. And most importantly, adopt an environmentally friendly habit. It is very, very important. So arresting of cat pushers continues in this new year, 2024. Remember, Loma has zero tolerance for these cat pushers. Both the cat pushers and their patrons will be prosecuted. And most importantly, cooperate with Loma, as the task of keeping Lagos State clean is everybody's business, like I always say. All right, so that brings us to the end of the show. Another edition of Cleaning Edge here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Many thanks to the Director, Public Affairs for Loma, Mrs. Folashade Kadri. But don't forget, you can connect with Loma via the following platforms. We have text message 0708 060 1020, or connect via social media, Facebook, Loma_GOV, Instagram, Loma_GOV, or send an email to loma.gov.ng, info@loma.gov.ng. All right, my name is Mike James. The show will come your way again next week, Saturday at exactly 9:15. But you'll then to have yourself a wonderful weekend, and remember, keep Lagos clean. Bye for now.
If you asked me what a team of heroes look like, I'd say people